What is good, everyone? OJ over here from PlayerEssence, and welcome to another PE Nintendo Switch and gaming news video. Today we've got some great information for you, so let's go ahead and get right into it. The Nintendo Switch game card can apparently survive a trip through the washing machine. So this is just a crazy story. It was from Go Nintendo, and it seems like there was a Redditor named Ghost Miles, and he accidentally ran the Nintendo Switch game card case through the washer. But the good news is that it still works. So not the Nintendo Switch itself, but the Nintendo Switch game cards. And there was a picture that you can see here of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And yeah, it's a little washed off as far as the case goes, but it still works perfectly fine inside there. And you know what's funny about this whole thing? I remember there was a video from Jason Lapine over at Nintendo Enthusiast. Also, hey Jay, he also has a YouTube channel, so make sure you check him out. And he was talking about the Nintendo Switch game cartridges sounding really flimsy, because if you shake the game cartridges, you hear this thing kind of go back and forth inside of it as if there's like something broken off inside of it. So a lot of people were thinking that potentially these game carts were cheap or something like that. But based on what we've heard from some of the third-party developers when it comes to manufacturing of Nintendo Switch cartridges, and as far as what's happened right here, these are far from cheap. These are actually very high quality cartridges that protect the material inside for the game, because if you can run that game through a washer and it still works, yo, that is pretty freaking good. So shout outs to Nintendo and the manufacturers for taking this into consideration, because they had to at some point, right? Like, if you're thinking about it, probably people might be leaving like a game inside their pocket because it is a portable system. So Nintendo probably thought about that ahead of time to make sure that it might be able to survive a wash or two. I'm not sure if the 3DS or if other portable systems can survive through the wash as far as the games go, but either way, it's really cool that this one did survive, because these games are not cheap. That was a $60 game right there, and Nintendo Switch games definitely aren't getting any cheaper, especially with even some of the multiplats being more expensive on the Nintendo Switch than other systems. So shout outs there to Nintendo, and of course the manufacturers, for making sure that they have a very high quality card. Alright, and moving on to the next article here. Pocket Rumble is apparently still coming to Nintendo Switch, and the game's developers explain what's been causing the delay, because this game was supposed to be out, I think, back in April or so, and it's pretty much been delayed indefinitely without really any new updates. So we finally got one, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Quote, "Hey guys, developer at Chucklefish here. I can tell you that Pocket Rumble on the Nintendo Switch is still happening, and we're really sorry about the delays. There's not much we can say right now other than there have been some issues to sort out with online multiplayer performance on the Nintendo Switch. Don't worry though, the release isn't too far off now. We'll let you know once we have a new release date." So it's really interesting to see that they're having some issues with the online multiplayer, just because I think there was also some issues, yes, there has been, with NBA Playgrounds and the online multiplayer for that game still not being out. Now, Nintendo has released games with online multiplayer. Even day one, there were games with online multiplayer like Fast RMX, in addition to Super Bomberman R that also had online. So I'm not really sure what's going on. And even if you want to say, oh, well, Super Bomberman R, that is Konami, that's Nintendo, as far as them helping it out with the game, that's the reason why. But Fast RMX, that is an indie developer, and it didn't seem like they had any issues with that, and they added in some extra modes as far as the friends go. And I do think that's what might be it, though, as far as the friends and adding them. Nintendo is still piecing together a lot of the main parts of their online, so maybe that's the issue there. Maybe the game is ready to go, but the online is just lagging behind, whether it's because of Nintendo or because of the developers, or a combination of both, because now we have two developers at this point with NBA Playgrounds, and we also have with this game here, Pocket Rumble, where they're saying, hey, we're having some issues with online. And even with NBA Playgrounds, we still haven't gotten that online, even though they said that we'd have an announcement or something, or be ready at least, I think they said last week, I think it was E3 week or something like that. So we still haven't gotten that. So definitely they need to make sure they can get that sorted out. The last thing that you want is to have issues. The good news is that Nintendo just had their major system update 3.0, and I think that's going to clear up a lot of things for these developers. You can now see on-screen notifications and even the game that the person is playing, and I do feel that Nintendo will continue to add features slowly but surely. System is a lot more flexible. You saw that with the Pokken Tournament controller already being added in, but not only that, you can control the whole OS with the, unlike with the Wii U, you could not control the actual OS with the Pokken Tournament controller through USB. So I do feel that there's going to be a lot of enhancements and additions to the system. Alright, and moving on to the last article here, the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim for the Nintendo Switch has been dated via Amazon. Now, one thing thing to note with this, this is not the official confirmed release date or anything like that. But it's a very specific listing for November 28th, 2017. That's what they're dating the Nintendo Switch version of Skyrim, and I would really like it to be around that date. That would be cool. So it would be interesting to see how they position, because Nintendo has two heavyweight RPGs for the fall of this year, in addition to a big one with Mario. So if you think about it, it could be a three-hit punch. October you have Mario, November you have Skyrim, and then December it could be Xenoblade. Or they can do Xenoblade and they can do Skyrim and maybe hit you with Xenoblade right before Black Friday and then Skyrim after Black Friday. So I'm thinking that's what they might do, or they could push one December with it being Xenoblade. If this listing is to be true, now who knows when Skyrim's actually coming, but we do know it's coming this year. Nintendo has slated it for fall or the holiday season, so I'm looking forward to this, guys. I always have loved Skyrim. I didn't buy any of the DLC packs with Skyrim. I didn't get any of them, or I think maybe I got one of them. Who knows? Anyway, all I know is that I played it a while ago on the Xbox 360, liked it, but I didn't do anywhere near all the amount of content, even though I put in, I think, 200 hours into the game, or like 150. I know I put in a lot, but there was a lot of stuff that I left undone, and I'm not even sure if I beat the game. No, actually, yes, I did beat the game, but I did not beat all the extra DLC and all that, and this version of Skyrim comes with all of that DLC packed into one package, to where you can play it on the go and you can play it on your TV. You can use some motion controls if you're into that, to shoot the bows and arrows and to slice people up. So I think those really great additions. It seems like it's running great. It's the enhanced version of the game. This is the ultimate version of Skyrim, in my opinion, since you can play it portably. It has all that content, plus they have the added motion controls, and it's the actual special edition of the game with the enhanced graphics and all of that. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's a very important third-party title, because this is the game that people were really clamoring for on the Wii U, and chances are, if we got that on the Wii U, especially at launch, I'm not sure if it'd be as good as this edition that we're getting here, considering the architecture, what Bethesda likes, and all of that. So I'm really happy that they were able to get this game. I think it's going to surprise a lot of people how well it does. Similar to like how Bomberman, people were like, oh, this is not going to do that well, but then it came out and they said they sold 500,000 copies to retailers at this point, and continue going, and even looking into other games on the Nintendo Switch because of the success of Bomberman. Maybe a brand new Castlevania potentially. Konami knows that they have people that are waiting for that, and they have that new Netflix series coming up. So I do feel that the success of this game is going to be very important in order for Nintendo to secure more third-party support from Bethesda in the future, and I'm hoping that people go out and pick this version of Skyrim up, because it's amazing. And a lot of people have told me, even though Skyrim has sold a lot, they said, I still haven't played this game, and they're going to pick it up on the Nintendo Switch. So I'm looking forward to playing this and seeing how it turns out as far as the final version of the game. Alright guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We've got Facebook, we've got Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on all of our social media. It really helps us spread the content of PlayerEssence across the interwebs, in addition to YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our Patreon page. Pledge any tier, even at the lowest of $1, and get the bulk of the content from Discord, voice chat, monthly giveaways, in addition to prize $10 eShop tournaments for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Super Smash Bros., ARMS, and so much more. So check out the Patreon page and support PE Live and PE Arena right here on PlayerEssence. Also, make sure you hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to PlayerEssence for the latest news, reviews, discussions, and more. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you Ninja for the next video. Peace.